Okay, folks, my name is Andrew Witt, and I am your benefits counselor this year. And I'm really excited to have the opportunity to work with you all. But as we get started, I always feel it's important we do two important things. First off, thank you for your time today. I do truly appreciate it. And switching to virtual tomorrow will just be so much more flexible for my family with a sick child at home. Thank you for allowing me to do that. I do appreciate that flexibility for you all. Second thing I always like to do, especially because this is my first opportunity to work with you all, is just let you know how I ended up in front of you all today. I'm actually a former high school history teacher. I got my career started down in Craven County at Havelock High School. While I was pursuing my master's degree in education, that brought me up to Wake County, where I taught for 7 more years and still volunteer as a coach at the school that I taught at. That's also how I met my wife. We were both teachers together. And when we knew we were starting our family, we were faced with some really hard sit down conversations. And as I always like to say, since she was pregnant, she got 2 votes and I had 1. So she's still in the classroom today, and I was faced with a career change for the first time in my life. But I realized something about myself I think is true for all of us that work in education. We want to help others, and I knew I needed to find that in my next career, but I still wanted to work with people I care passionately about, which is you all. And that's where I found Pierce Group. They handle your benefits for the school system, and they've been doing that for the past 90 years, helping individuals and families solve problems and provide solutions through these benefits we're going to review today. Now, today is just a general benefits briefing, kind of a highlight of everything offered to you by the school system, any changes, important updates you need to be aware of. Comprehensive information can be found in your benefits booklet, which is now online. You may pause the video, scan the QR code right there, or you can access it through the email that you use to schedule your individual sessions. There's also a link to that benefits booklet there as well. Now, we always begin with some important facts. Your annual enrollment ends next Friday. That's your last opportunity to make any adjustments to your benefits for the upcoming plan year at central office. I will be available for you all day tomorrow virtually. Sign up for a time slot. You'll get a Zoom link, and we'll get you taken care of real quick and easy for you for the upcoming plan year. That being said, your benefits are effective on January 1, and that plan year runs the calendar year of 2023. Now, your benefits are always broken down into 2 basic categories. Top category are your pre-tax benefits. The great thing about pre-tax benefits is these come out of our paycheck before Uncle Sam takes his cut, saving you approximately 30% on any benefit enrolled in. Your bottom category are your post-tax benefits. The reason why you want these benefits enrolled in with post-tax dollars is something like disability. If something ever occurred and we're unable to work, that benefit we're receiving does not count as income, and therefore next April, we're not hit with an unexpected tax burden because you couldn't work for a period of time. So very specific reasons why some benefits are pre-tax, others are post-tax. Now, the easiest way to enroll, make sure you see me virtually. That way we can review your benefits. You understand exactly what's coming out of your paycheck, where it's going to. That being said, there also is a self-enroll option using your instructions in the benefits booklet. And the last day to enroll is at the makeup day at central office. Now, first benefit we always review is your dental benefits. Okay, folks, it's through MetLife. Plan and rates have not changed. Always 100% of your diagnostic preventive services are covered. Then after your deductible, 80% of your basic services and 50% of your major services are covered with your annual maximum of $1,000 benefit. Now, vision is through Superior. Once again, it's a one-size-fits-all program. Every year you get your annual eye exam, and then based on your prescriptions, your materials are covered from your contacts, lenses to your frames. But your frames, please remember, are every other year and in lieu of that contact lens benefit. So please make sure you are planning adequately, especially if that's on your docket to get new frames this year. Now, the only thing I ever tell folks about your dental or vision is if you're having $50 a pay period being taken out of your paycheck to have these benefits in place, we got to be doing the bare minimum of getting our teeth cleaned twice a year or eyes checked once a year. If we are not doing that bare minimum, folks, simply put, we are having money taken out of our paycheck we're not using, and we work way too hard for what we earn to not take 10 or 15 minutes a year and really understand where our money's going to when it's being deducted from our income. Now, flexible spending accounts. This is a government-sponsored program to help make medical expenses a little bit more affordable for ourselves and our family members. How they do that is the IRS allows you to set aside tax-free income for any qualified medical expenses, and it ranges from over 4,000 different things, from the main ones of prescriptions, co-pays, to your deductible, to any eye care or dental work you might need. You may also, with your money you set aside, use it not just for yourself as the employee, but also for your spouse, as well as any family member, even if they are not on your health plan with you. The accounts are customizable. You select the dollar amount. The maximum is up to $2,850 a year. It is front loaded, so it's ready to go January 1. It is then just taken out equally by pay period throughout the plan year. But please remember, especially if you currently participate in a flexible spending account, periodically check your balance. Make sure you exhaust that before the end of the plan year, as no funds do roll over. That is called the use it or lose it rule, so please make sure you are aware of that. And this is a benefit you do have to actively re-enroll in on an annual basis. There's another type of flexible spending account called a dependent care account. Works the same basic way as the healthcare, setting aside tax-free income, saving you 30%, but instead of on prescriptions and co-pays, this is for those of the kids up to the age of 13 for things like before or after school care, summer day camps, daycare expenses. Why this is a significant benefit is you're allowed to set aside up to $5,000 of tax-free income to go towards those needs. Once again, it does have that use it or lose it rule, and you do need to re-enroll in that on an annual basis. One great benefit for long-term financial security is your long-term disability. The reason being is people are just being out of work, and we're finding that they're just being out of work for longer periods of time. This benefit will cover you for up to 5 years out of work, with the $500 base benefit costing less than $6 a month to have that long-term financial security. Now, telemedicine is a great benefit. You can set up doctor's visits much like we're doing right now. Within 15 minutes, you can get a physician on the line 365 days a year, 24/7, and they can even write prescriptions to your local pharmacy as well. Legal resources can be a great benefit. You can get will and estate planning, family law, traffic court representation, all while making sure that you always have legal representation for any of the things and curveballs that life might throw at you. Now, all school system employees get a $5,000 free life insurance benefit while you're actively employed. You do have the option to add some additional through the school system. It's a very economical rate, but please remember, it does increase as we age, and we don't own it. That's why it's called supplemental. It should supplement something that we own, whether that be a term or a whole life policy, and we'll go over those options towards the end of the briefing for you. Now, the rest of the benefits are through Colonial Life. And the reason why Pierce Group, as well as the school system, chooses to employ Colonial Life is simply put, they're the best at what they do in the nation today. And there's three main things that really set them apart. These pay regardless of any other insurance you might have. They are paid direct to you, and these benefits are portable. Meaning, should you ever stop working for the school system, you retire, you take them from a payroll deduction, move them to a bank draft, and keep them for as long as you and your family deem necessary. Now, the first benefit we always review is your cancer benefit. And whether this is my first time or my 10th time having the opportunity to work with you all, sadly, this is something I can almost say with 100% confidence, is all of us have been affected by cancer, whether it's been a friend, a coworker, a family member, and we've all learned that this is one thing that just does not discriminate in our lives. And the cost of a cancer diagnosis is so much more than our medical expenses. This benefit is built to be a financial safety net that when a diagnosis occurs to you, your child, your spouse, it allows you to focus on what's most important, which is getting the treatment you deserve, not ever feeling like you're having to settle for treatment. Now, the only thing I ever want our family to ever use our cancer benefit for is that little red dot you see up at the top with $100 in it. That's your wellness benefit. If you go to the doctors for an annual, blood work, cholesterol, mammogram, Pap are probably the four most common. There's 24 to choose from. File it online. They will pay you $100 return of premium per person covered as long as each of them goes to have an annual screening done. The reason why this is built into the cancer benefit and several of the others is because the best way to beat a diagnosis is always to catch things when they're minor issues before they manifest into larger ones. Now, if the cancer benefit ever does need to be used, I hope you have your $5,000 or $10,000 initial diagnosis benefit built on that'll pay immediately before diagnosis. or after your diagnosis, before any medical treatment, at the most devastating time in your lives, to just make sure you can make decisions as you need to. Then, based on your treatment program, the benefit takes off, whether that be radiation and chemotherapy, medical imaging studies, experimental treatment to surgical procedures. If you ever have to travel or a loved one does, there's a transportation and lodging benefit built in, not just for the individual diagnosed, but also for a loved one to travel with them to give them the support they need while they undergo that treatment. Extended care benefits like hospice are also built in, and I absolutely hope those are never needed. One thing I have learned during my time as a benefits counselor, I don't care where you get a cancer benefit, your spouse already has one, excellent. But in this day and age, please make sure you have one. Now, the opposite side of that is your critical illness benefit or your heart plan. Covers specific catastrophic incidences, about 27 different things, from heart attack, stroke, renal failure, organ failure, coma, paralysis, blindness, to sudden cardiac arrest. There's an infectious disease benefit you can have built on, which covers hospitalizations for infectious diseases, as well as a progressive disease benefit, which can be built on, which covers things like lupus, MS, to Alzheimer's and dementia. Should something ever happen, it provides a lump sum benefit of $10, $15, $20, $25,000, whatever you elected during your time of enrollment. Your discretion how those funds are used. Then, if another event happens a year later, the benefit will pay multiple times. And if something ever occurs and I can't pull through, that benefit will be immediately passed along to my family during their time of need as well. Now, disability. Probably the most important thing we're going to go over today, as I think we've all learned the value and importance of protecting our income by being prepared for the unexpected. The big thing this year is this is a brand new benefit. The old one is not offered anymore because it had just become outdated. It was introduced in 2004, and the world's just a very different place. We know it still always covers us on and off the job 24/7, but instead of just being for physical related things like car accidents to COVID, mental health is now covered as a benefit. Now, people ask me every day of the week, Andrew, is this something I really need to have in place? Don't I got sick days, annual leave? The big thing I always tell you about your disability is what my mentors told me is if your paycheck plays an active role in your family's budget, or maybe you're an individual, your paycheck is the budget. You need to have some form of disability in place to prevent from going into debt, raiding savings, losing things you've worked incredibly hard for. Now, the disability is there for you and your financial well-being. The accident benefits for your loved ones. If you have kids that are athletes, they're teen drivers, they're like my hyenas that are a tad accident prone, or you have a spouse that acts like a child, great benefit. Covers them 24/7 on and off the job, whether it be a hunting or fishing accident, broken bones, concussions, lacerations, bee stings, and dog bites that need emergency treatment, to sports-related injuries as well. Now, the medical bridge has been one of the most enrolled in benefits across the state as a supplement or gap to your state health plan. The reason being is I think we can all sadly agree that the state health plan is not as strong as it used to be, and that a supplement is almost a needed benefit this day and age. How it helps you and provides that security is it provides a lump sum benefit if you're ever hospitalized over 20 hours, designed to hopefully take care of your deductible, hopefully some co-insurance. And then if you have your daily benefit and ICU benefit built on, it'll just build for you every day that you're confined in a hospital with that $500 a day ICU benefit as well. Now, where most claims always begin is your diagnostic work. What's wrong with us? Biopsies, CAT scans, MRIs are all covered. 2 outpatient surgical procedures are covered, whether that be a child getting tubes in the ears or tonsils out to an adult having a hysterectomy or knee surgery. That being said, with the medical treatment package, you're covered if you ever need an ambulance or emergency room. But anytime you see a physician throughout the year, up to 5 times total as a family, pays you $25 each time you go, just to help take care of any copays. And that's what I really like about the medical bridge as a benefit, is it's one we're all going to actively use. And we're only going to use it more as we get older, but the rate gets locked in at your age and will never increase. Now, life insurance. One of the most important things we're going to go over, because it's how we protect our families in the event that we're not there. You may also put these policies on your spouse, children, and grandchildren. However, the one thing I will draw your attention to is those 2 letters, GI with an exclamation point, okay? That's guaranteed issue for all employees. Now, as we talk about life insurance, we know 2 things based on our age and health. This year, I only care about your age. I'm not going to ask you about family history of diabetes, cholesterol, blood pressure, heart conditions. You are either Superman or Wonder Woman when you want to put some life insurance in place for yourself that you own. Now, there's two types. There's whole life, which is for our wins. When I'm not there, hopefully not about 95, but I knew when I was 22, my parents, we are not financially blessed enough to absorb final expenses. So I had to take the responsibility of putting something in place. But since it was just me, when I'm not there, hopefully it's not about 95, but by actively making the decision and putting it in place, I know that that burden of final expenses won't be the last thing I leave on my wife or kids to deal with either. Whole life is permanent. It builds cash value. It's a guaranteed level premium, so you know that it's never going to change. That being said, several years ago, when I became a dad, I stopped caring about the whens. As a parent, I had a responsibility to take care of the ifs. If I'm not there next week, what does my wife need to raise the people I care most about in this universe? That's your term life benefit. Meant to be an astronomical benefit, help cover future housing expenses, family's current standard of living. And the reason why it's the most economical is because it serves a period of need, 10 to 30 years. I've got a 30-year term in place. I want to pay for it every month, eventually see my kids grow up and move out of the house. But as their parent, I know I've got something in place to protect my family if I'm not there tomorrow. And I think we've all learned about the fragility of life over the past several years and the responsibility we have to our families to make sure they're protected. Now, if you're sitting there and you go, man, I got a cancer benefit and a heart plan, I haven't filed a single wellness claim ever. You may always go back up to the effective date of your benefit, file it over the phone or online. All you need is the doctor's phone number, date you went, test you had done. And if you're not sure when you had that cancer benefit in place or any other questions that you might have, go to your policyholder portal throughout the year, file claims right online, chat with a service agent, answer your questions, or if you ever have issues filing a claim, they will assist you as well. Now, any other issues arise throughout the year, you have our service center at your custom benefits website available to you. You lose a flex card, you got a question about why something wasn't covered on dental, don't wait till next November and December to talk to me about it. Handle that as they come up with our service team all the way throughout the year. Now, thank you so much for your time today. I do truly appreciate it. I tried to keep this as short and as informative as I could, but thank you so much. Have an awesome afternoon, everybody, and thank you for your time.